Hello. Kiss have been around forever, so there are a shit ton of Kiss songs. And these songs didn't write themselves. So, let's take a look at who the best songwriters in Kiss are.
Welcome to All Kiss Ranked. Random Kiss stuff, put into lists, and then presented by an AI avatar.
Number 10. Eric Singer. I love Eric Singer as a drummer, especially in the Revenge era, but he only has one songwriting credit in his entire 25-year career with the band, and that's Back to the Stone Age, which is credited to the entire band. Eric has said that he regrets not writing more in his career. There's still time, little fella. Number 9. Mark St. John. Mark didn't write any songs for Kiss, but he did write some interesting instrumental songs on his Magic Bullet Theory album, so I guess we'll give him the number 9 spot. You know what's ironic? Mark was fired from Kiss partially due to an ailment called, wait for it, writer's syndrome. Number 8. Peter Criss. Okay, have you heard Peter's 2007 solo album, All for One? If you have, then I'm so sorry for you. Even apart from that album, most of Peter's solo work was written by other people. There's no song that's credited to just Peter Criss, and I think his co-writers shouldered most of the work. Beth is basically a Bob Ezrin recreation of a Stan Pendridge song. As Paul Stanley says straight up, Peter can't write songs, because he doesn't play an instrument. Oof. Number 7. Tommy Thayer. Tommy co-wrote several of the songs on Monster and Sonic Boom. He also co-wrote 3 songs from before his days as Replace Frehley. Betrayed, The Street Giveth and The Street Taketh Away, and Childhood's End. I happen to really like that last one, but let's just say none of those songs are on anybody's Best of Kiss mixtapes. Also, for Monster, he was clearly given the assignment, hey, Tommy, write a song about space and you can sing it on the next album. The result is Out of This World, which comes across as completely disingenuous. Number 6. Eric Carr. Eric had some nice co-writes on Kiss albums. Some highlights include the awesome riff in All Hell's Breakin' Loose, and Under the Rose, an undisputed high point of The Elder. I wish we could have heard more. Number 5. Bruce Kulick. The first thing that comes to mind when you think of Bruce is super nice guy and an insanely good guitar player. But he's also written a lot of good tunes. Carnival of Souls is basically a Bruce Kulick solo album. While not the most Kiss-like of albums, it has some really well-crafted songs, and some amazing, heavy riffs. Also, there's lots of good stuff to be found in his solo work. Number 4. Gene Simmons. Gene's approach has always been, throw lots of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Why he thought Boomerang stuck to the wall, we'll never know. He's written some straight-up classics, but a lot of the songs, especially those in the 80s, seem like Gene came up with a riff, and then wrote a series of cliches as the lyrics. For example, Burn Bitch Burn is literally just a list of non sequitur cliches. He sure is prolific though. Number 3. Ace Frehley. Ace had a smattering of songs on the first few Kiss albums, but it wasn't until 1977 that he really started to shine. Just look at his universally beloved 78 solo album, which he wrote almost entirely by himself. Also, ignoring those cheesy Todd Howarth songs from Second Sighting, he wrote the majority of his later solo work too. And his songs basically carried Dynasty and Unmasked. Not bad for a guy Paul Stanley has described as the laziest person he's ever known. Number 2. Paul Stanley. Paul is a very good and very underrated songwriter. He's also written more Kiss tunes than anybody else. Right from the very first album, his songs were thoughtfully crafted. And that only got better as time went on. His hit singles kept the band afloat through the 80s. His only missteps are when he was trying too hard to make a song that sounds like somebody else, like Read My Body. Number 1. Vinnie Vincent. Vinnie's only written 14 Kiss songs. But they're all good. Well, maybe Heart of Chrome is just okay. But there are no bad Vinnie songs. Also, before Kiss, he worked as a songwriter for television. It kinda seems like Kiss kept him around as long as they did, mainly for his songwriting ability. Also, the Invasion albums are great, in a batshit insane kinda way. That's why we're going to give him the #1 spot. Well, there you go. All Kiss members ranked by songwriting ability. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to angrily post in the comments about how Out of This World and Boomerang are actually the greatest Kiss songs ever written. Bye.